Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 41 of the Galactic Window Space Podcast. My name is Nick, and in a galaxy far, far away, I am known as the Orbital Alliance. It is good to see all of you here who are tuning in with us live, of course, here on YouTube and perhaps on Twitch as well, if you are viewing the stream over there. It is good to have everyone with a heartbeat tuning in. Just so you know, right out of the gate tonight, it is just me. This is an odd week. Tan is out of town. He's traveling, and he was going to be flying back like right now. And he was telling me, he was like, hey, I can try to make it, but I might only make it for the end of it. And I was like, dude, don't do that to yourself. Just don't do that to yourself, man. When you travel, you just got to get home. You're tired from being away. Settle in. It's late at night. Forget about it. So I was like, dude, take the night off. So it is only me, and that's cool. Tan and I have a really good understanding about the podcast and when we're going to be there, when we're not. And I was like, this is one of those nights where I was like, dude, 100%. Like, I support you not being there. In fact, please don't show up. I was like, don't you dare be there. That's not what I said, but it's what I meant to say. But if Tan does show up, it's not my doing. It will have been on his own accord, and it will be an absolute pure surprise to me. So, it's possible. You may never know. Let's just take a look here at the chat. Say hello to some of our regular listeners who tune in every week. What's up, Alex, Angie, Tony, Blue-Eyed Steph, Tamara? What's happening? Good morning. Have the best show, Nick. See you guys on replay. Thank you so much for the best wishes. Appreciate it. Thank you again for waking up at stupid o'clock to be tuning in from the other side of planet Earth. So cool. You guys, it's been a while since I've hosted a solo show. If you've been around since the beginning, you will know that the first 6 episodes were only me. From episode 10 until now, has been with me and Tan. And there have actually been times when Tan and I have been sick and we've still done the show. I think it was episode 13 for me. I think that was one with Tim Bailey. I was about an inch away from telling Tan, I was like, dude, I can't do this. But I was so excited to be talking to Tim. I was like, I got to stick this out. And I did. And I felt way better by the end of the show. So I was really glad I did. There was another episode or two, I think, where Tan has not felt great. And he's stuck it out every time too. So pretty crazy that we've basically been here for every single one. Tony says, I can't handle the handsomeness on the full screen. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I don't see anyone else here. But yeah, I mean, and to be honest, cards on the table, I feel like I'm coming down with a little bit of a sore throat today. It's not been fun. It could just be the weather change. It's getting warm again. Our first taste of official spring has kind of shown up here in Illinois, and in most of the United States, it's kind of starting to warm up. So the temperature is like basically doubled that it was like 3 days ago. So there's all these different weather systems. The trees are starting to bud a little bit. Who knows what's going on in the air? But I'm really hoping that I don't get knocked down and out. But I'm in for tonight. So maybe we'll just keep it a tight one, a tight program, Keep it simple. Don't push too hard. I saw a comment. Where was it? Yeah, Steph, you said, nice new picnic. Thank you very much. I've been experimenting with stuff. And if you guys noticed, I did switch up the thumbnail for the podcast over on YouTube. And this is the first time I've done that. It's been the same formula, literally the same Photoshop project file since day one. I decided to change it up. I did some like demo photography of myself. We got some stuff from Tan coming in soon. And I'm excited to change up the branding a bit. It's been a long time coming, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But yeah, I like it. I've been messing around with different editing styles and little tricks, trying to make it look a little cleaner, look a little more rugged, just to shift up the flavor a bit. You can't have pizza every night for dinner. Sometimes you got to have spaghetti. Other times you got to have a steak. Other times, or all the time, it's Taco Bell, just so you know. Glamour Shots by Deb, if you know Napoleon Dynamite. Yes, Glamour Shots, indeed. Yeah, I set up my lights, I set up my cameras, I took a bunch of shots, and probably about 99 out of the 100 were absolutely abysmal photos. Total goofball. Did not work out super well. But yeah, anyway, let's get back on track here talking about space. So you guys, if you're brand new to the show here, I appreciate you guys coming in to listen or watch wherever you are. This is a space and astronomy podcast, so we do our best to keep things on topic. We occasionally deviate, but we do like to talk about things that can help get you excited about the night sky, and that might be through the connection of fun facts or current events. It might also be through the story of somebody that we have on the show, like a guest. And if you've missed past episodes, you can watch them or listen to them on your favorite streaming platforms. And you can find some really cool people who've come on the show. Some of my favorites are Tim Bailey, who works for Zero G, the parabolic weightless plane flights. He's done, I think it was like over 400 flights or something like that. Amazing talk we had with him. One of my other favorites was Stacy Morgan, the wife of astronaut Drew Morgan. She's an author, the author of the book, The Astronaut's Wife. And she was a phenomenal conversation. So, if that's your thing, this is the show for you. We do like to have a good time in the process. But we also encourage you guys to participate in the chat. If you are live, say hello, ask questions, and we'll do our best to keep up with you guys. Yeah. So tonight, I know there's lots going on in the space world. It's kind of been a really busy space week with lunar landings of commercial lunar rovers or landers. Correction, it's not a rover, they're landers. One of them was successful. The second one is alive, but it tipped over. It's been kind of a crazy week. Starship did its 8th test flight, and there was a rapid unscheduled disassembly, or a RUD, upon ascent. And that was an interesting video watch. So if you missed that, go watch the replay of the SpaceX Starship test flight number 8. But I've been kind of thinking a lot. I was like, last week we did a big discussion on the moon, and I loved it. I thought it was super fun. So I thought tonight, let's talk about the other place that humans have their eyes set on. Let's talk about Mars, the red planet. I thought that'd be a good place to go. Because I've been kind of excited about Mars. And I feel like it's been getting a lot of flack, especially kind of politically recently. And we won't get too deep into that. That's not the point. The point is, a lot of people think Mars is a huge waste of money. People should stop setting their expectations and sights on Mars, and terraforming is a waste of time. But I don't think so. I think Mars is a cool place. I would go if I could be guaranteed a flight back. I would like to come back to Earth. Don't think I could live there forever. But I think it's worth discussing. And for those of you tuning in, one of those things that is cool about planets is oftentimes we kind of just know their names, and that's kind of where our knowledge ends, right? Like there's not much more beyond that. Maybe you talked a little bit about it in school. Excuse me. Like maybe in elementary school, you learned some fun facts, but let's brush up a little bit, let's dial it back in, and let's have you show up to the office tomorrow like an encyclopedia on Mars. Like you are going to be dropping mad facts at the water cooler, and whoever's picking up the donuts next to you, just say, hey, you enjoy that while I spit some mad Mars facts at you. That's what we're going to do. So let's get started, you guys. Let me know in the chat who here wants to know about Mars. And if you know stuff about Mars, please chime in, because I don't know everything about Mars. I know some things. And it's likely that a lot of you know a lot about Mars too. So share with the class, won't you? Don't mind me as I continue to hydrate. Side note, the glass that I poured right before this, it was a really big glass. I've had it for years, and it was actually made of glass. And I remember pouring water into it, and I brought it upstairs. I sat down, and I was like, why is my hand wet? That's weird. Like, I thought I poured that water pretty cleanly. I didn't spill over the edge at all. Why is my hand wet? Weird. Like maybe the condensation happened in the last 30 seconds. And I set it down. I started setting up for the podcast, and I went to go get a drink of water. I moved my glass across my desk, and then a huge puddle was underneath my glass and smeared across the desk here. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? I picked it up. There's a huge crack, like a sweeping crack all along the glass. Like, I don't know what happened, but it was leaking and there's a giant puddle. So I'm bummed that that glass that I have is broken because it's one of the biggest glasses I have. But I did replace it. And that is my tangential story for tonight. I'm trying my best to hydrate because my throat kind of hurts. So bear with me. Anyway. Yeah, Steph, I'm going to be counting on you to help me out here because we do have a planetary scientist in the chat, somebody who actually knows stuff. So please fact check me because it's likely that I'm going to get a lot wrong. You hear that? Trust me on all these facts. So let's talk about it. Mars, the red planet. It's a pretty cool place to check out because it's the next most possibly habitable planet in our solar system. So, of course, we have our traditional and conventional 8 planets, Mercury through Neptune. Only 4 of them are terrestrial, Earth being one of them. So that leaves 3 other planets that we could possibly land on, that aren't moons or anything. So Mercury, way too hot, inhospitable, way too close to the sun. You'd fry to a crisp. Venus, deathly atmospheric pressure, noxious atmosphere, just incinerate. The temperature would incinerate you in a heartbeat, like literal death trap. Can't go there. Then we got Earth, which is perfect. And then there's Mars, our neighbor behind us. And there's this world that probably at one point was potentially lush or at least flowing with water, at the very least. Potentially harboring life. We don't know yet. But since experienced some form of a cataclysm that rendered it lifeless and desert and barren and cold and just the worst place, this actual like deathscape. But there's so much to talk about because I think Mars has potential for rehabilitation more than any other planet. And there's a lot of cool things about it. So let's start with some basic fun facts because I think it was just like brush up. What's the bread and butter about Mars? Mars is about a quarter of the size of planet Earth. So it's a little bit smaller, and it is actually the second smallest planet in the solar system. So little fun facts there. It has a diameter of about 4,200 miles across the equator, which is, roughly about 53% of Earth's diameter. The surface area of Mars actually is somewhat equivalent to if you combined all of Earth's land masses into one, like put Pangea back together. That would kind of wrap around all of Mars, which is pretty wild. Yeah, like sometimes it's helpful to have those sort of connection points to sort of put into your mind, like what's the scale are we talking about here? Let's see. Rattling stuff off. There is a huge volcano. I see Joe jumping in here. How's it going, man? It also is, it's got a bunch of features on its surface features that are very unique. And I'm going to put this coming up here. Joe put in, there's a huge volcano. There's a dormant volcano named Olympus Mons, which is the largest volcano in the entire solar system, at least that we know about. Maybe perhaps there is a possible bonus on some moon that we haven't explored yet, but the likelihood is probably pretty slim because you need sort of the right ingredients to create volcanism. But it is home to Olympus Mons, which if you image from planet Earth, the planet Mars, I believe technically on the right day, under the right conditions, the right positioning, I think you can technically resolve surface features like Olympus Mons, which is pretty wild. It's also home to a canyon that's quite famous too. Valles Marineris, which is, I think it's like 4 times the length of the Grand Canyon here on Earth. So imagine a Grand Canyon feeling like the pathetic canyon. That's pretty amazing. So like Mars has got like this arsenal of features, and some of them make Earth look like the class clown. You know, yeah, we may have water and all these other cool things, but Mars has got some of these wicked features to show off. Mars also has water ice and frozen carbon dioxide. There's all kinds of clumps of those things in the polar ice caps in the north and the south, which is a cool feature. You can also see those from Earth. I've actually imaged Mars before, and you can see one of the ice caps. So just like Earth, we have ice caps, as does Mars, which is pretty neat. Mars is also covered with dried up lake beds. If you look closely, there are ancient patterns of water flow at some point all over the place. And we currently have rovers exploring those lake beds, looking for evidence of life. It's a pretty cool place. Mars is also known, of course, for its dust storms. It has weather, and its atmosphere differs from Earth quite a bit. Earth is predominantly nitrogen. I think it's like 70% nitrogen. Then the rest is like oxygen, and then a smattering of other elements. Humans need oxygen, of course. We know that. But Mars's atmosphere is predominantly carbon dioxide, and it is also only 1% of the density of Earth's atmosphere. So it's a very thin atmosphere of the wrong elements, essentially, not enough of the right thing. So the molecules are different. Correction, the elements are there, but the molecules are incorrect. So obviously the atmosphere is toxic to humans. Like, we inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. We would go hypoxic if we ingested and inhaled carbon dioxide, and then we'd eventually go brain dead, essentially, and pass out and die, really, if you would go unmasked on planet Mars. It's also a frigidly cold planet. Temperatures can drop to the negative 200s Fahrenheit. I don't have the conversions, I don't think, for Celsius. But I do know that I think on a good day, the temperatures can reach a comfortable 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're in the warmest parts of Mars, you know, maybe it might be t-shirt weather. Who knows? But let's not try that. Let's not take our suits off if we're hanging out on Mars. So yeah, those are some of your basic features of Mars. It gives you a little bit of a snapshot of what it might be like. Like I was saying, it's kind of a deathscape. The water is frozen. It's mostly under the surface or at the poles. And it's just desert and rocks and more desert and more rocks. So if you wanted to go there, you would need to find a way to find shelter for yourself that could provide warmth and a stable atmosphere that gives you the density you need. You need the pressure of an atmosphere, to push back on your skin so that it remains stable. And of course, you need to be able to breathe and function. But the radiation from the sun would actually be quite problematic. The other problem that Mars has is it doesn't have the same protection with its magnetosphere that Earth provides. One of the things that Earth has, of course, is on the inside, it creates this polarity, this magnetic polarity that kind of creates a shield around Earth from solar radiation, protects us from that, keeps living things getting fueled just enough, but not so much that it's like a lethal dose. Mars is much more lethal. It lacks that magnetosphere and that magnetic field. So you would have to find some other way to protect yourself from solar radiation while you're there. And there are actually a lot of solutions for that, and we can get into those later. But like I was saying, it's a deathscape. You would need to provide yourself all the solutions to just survive even mere minutes on planet Mars. But I will go back to the surface, pun intended here, and still say that it is beautiful. I feel like every time I see an image of the surface of Mars, it's gorgeous. It may be a desert, but I think there is still beauty in the pure nature of it. And I love that. The rocks are colorful, and they're shaped in beautiful ways. They're diverse, and there's clearly a history there. And you can witness that. You can pull it out you can extrapolate that just by observing it, and it makes you ask questions. And to me, that is beautiful. Just like if you go to like Arizona or Utah here, just because it doesn't have a forest necessarily. I know some parts of those states have forests, but I'm talking about the most barren portions of it. Just because they aren't lush and overflowing and have waterfalls doesn't mean they're not beautiful. And I think Mars shouldn't be discounted. I think it should be given the credit, that it deserves. The other thing too is Mars and its surface, its crust is predominantly made of iron. It's very rich in iron, and when it interacts with this carbon dioxide atmosphere, it creates a reaction, and that reaction generates rust on the iron. So that's why it actually has its reddish hue, that orange red color to it. Then it's dirt and it's dust and everything is kind of rusty. It's actual rust. So that's probably the most descriptive way you can go about trying to explain why is the red planet red. It's just rust. So maybe we just got to bring a couple of buckets of Rust-Oleum paint and make sure that we're painting over our habitats as we inhabit the planet there, with extra coats of that. What's happening, Foxy Roxy? Welcome in. Good to see you guys. If you're just tuning into the show, how's it going? My name is Nick. I am known as the Orbital Alliance here on the internet, and this is the Galactic Window Space Podcast. We stream live every Monday night at 9 p.m. Central Time, now Central Daylight Time, because, we had that hour jump yesterday. Normally, we have two of us here. My co-host, Tan, a.k.a. Chasing the Milk. Tonight, he is off. He's traveling. He's not here tonight, so we do miss him. And I want you guys, if you are here in the live chat, joining us on YouTube or on Twitch, drop some W's for Tan in the chat. Because even though he's not here, we know he's here. And he would be if he could. So show some love, drop some hearts, drop some W's for Tan. All right, let's drop in some facts here. We got our planetary scientists, Blue-Eyed, dropping in some facts. She says, a recent study suggests that Mars's red color may primarily result from the presence of ferrihydrite, a water-rich iron oxide mineral, rather than hematite, which was previously thought to be responsible. And that is a lot of chemistry that goes beyond my pay grade. But I do appreciate that because that gives some more specificity and perhaps more clarity and correction to what I was saying a moment ago. She says, this was recently published in February 2025 of 2025 in a study that the University of Bern in Switzerland, which also involved contributions from NASA. So there's your proof and your support as a true scientist does. I love it. Thank you so much for the extra detail. Very, very cool. China #1. Oh my gosh. I love it. Yeah. So Mars, of course, the other fun fact that I know about Mars, which is a perspective shifter to be sure, is that Mars is the only planet in the solar system. Well, no, not the only planet. I guess technically not the only planet. Primarily inhabited by robots, which is cool. I mean, I guess if you're counting like rovers actually exploring. Oh no, sorry. I got a deviate here. Here's this comment. Nick hasn't had any sun lately, so he doesn't have a tan. Bad joke? Question mark. No, excellent joke. And if I had a button here, I would press it because tan would of course go ah ha ha. So there you go. I love it. Good deviation. Worth it. 10 out of 10. W joke. So anyway, yeah, Mars is the only planet actually inhabited entirely by robots. There's no human presence, and every bit of movement is a robot that was built by humanity, of course. And that's not a surprise, obviously, but it is just one of those perspective shifters where you're just like, oh yeah, no, like we're doing things, and we have been doing things for a very, very long time. Currently, as it stands, there are 2 rovers exploring Mars that are healthy and operational and functional. That's NASA's Curiosity rover and NASA's Perseverance rover. They're both very similar. They look pretty much the same. Actually, let me get something for you guys who are watching over in the video podcast. Hang on, hold tight. I do have a Lego, and you guys who are listening on the audio podcast after the fact, just Google NASA Curiosity or NASA Perseverance. But this is a little mini Lego model of, I think it's Perseverance. The focus is not pulling quite well here. Let me put it by my face. There we go. It's got 6 wheels. It's got a bunch of instruments, a mast cam. It's got all sorts of stuff. And they've been very, very pivotal in helping us discover and learn about the Martian surface, the origins of the compositions of the rocks, things like that. It's been very fun to watch, and they've been delivering amazing photography of their journeys as they traverse the Martian surface. And to the best of my knowledge, they're actually on opposite sides of the planet. So we're kind of getting as much coverage as you possibly can. So we didn't drop them next to each other. They're quite far away. And one of them, I think Perseverance, is in the Jezero crater. Most of the surface features on Mars have names. So Jezero crater, I think it's like one of those dried up lake beds. So they're hoping that there's evidence of certain rock formations, perhaps, if we're lucky, fossilizations of either microbial life or maybe plant life. Because if there was evidence of water, where there's water flow, maybe there was life fueled by that water a long time ago. So yes, we are active and exploring Mars, and it's really exciting. One of the cool things about Perseverance, and this was also known as the Mars 2020 rover. Perseverance was deployed back then. So it's been operational for a couple of years, but it was unique than compared to the other ones because it actually deployed a helicopter. It was actually more of a drone, but they called it a helicopter, which was the first propeller-driven flight device ever deployed onto another planet or another celestial body. And it was known as Ingenuity. Some people called it Ginny for short. Perseverance was called Percy, and Ingenuity was called Ginny. They had nicknames, which was very cute. But it actually, I think it did over 50, maybe 60 flights. I can't remember what it was before. Finally, I think one of the propellers broke. And it was only supposed to fly a couple of times just to see, can we even fly something on another surface? Obviously there's a lot less air, and you need air, you need lift and drag, to create flight. But we were able to make it work, and they kept doing further and further flights. They got a ton of data on it. They were taking imagery with it. And now this little helicopter is just like sitting there on the surface, until we, pick it up sometime in the future. Wildfire in the Twitch chat, thanks for tuning in over there. Appreciate it. Just so you know, it is Ginny, like Ginny, I think. I think that's what they call it. So Ingenuity, like kind of like a miniature version of that. But yeah, it's a very cool thing. It was fun to watch. So look up some of the pictures online after the show. Go look up Ingenuity helicopter on Mars, and you'll find some really cool pictures. But it literally was funny because the Perseverance rover basically like dropped it out from its underside. So like it was like the underbelly, it kind of like deployed it and then it rolled away. So it was kind of like the rover gave birth to a helicopter on, on planet Mars, which was pretty cool. So yeah, lots going on. They did some very, very cool things. These rovers, of course, are also taking like, samples, like drilling in to the surface, and then they're like leaving the samples, like sample cores, in these little pods, and then they're leaving them on the surface of Mars, eventually to be picked up again by humans whenever we end up there, or maybe another robot that actually has the dexterity to come and pick it up, which is pretty miraculous if you think about it. Like just being able to do that alone is a marvel. But we're paving the way for a better understanding of the geological structure of the planet in ways that, we can't otherwise do without a human on the surface. So pretty exciting. Lots going on planet Mars. Let me just take a look here and see what is happening. Oh yeah, we should also talk about the day structure. The cool thing about Mars is the daytime, the runtime for the day is actually strikingly similar to that of planet Earth's. So of course, planet Earth's days are something like 23 hours and 56 minutes or something. It's like super, super close to 24 hours. We basically just say it's 24 hours. We operate on that function. But Mars is like it's like 24 hours and 39 minutes or something like that. It's like some really close time. It's like just a little bit longer of a day. But the Martian year is much longer. It's over 2 times longer than an Earth year. So I guess in a way, like whatever your age is here on Earth, you're half of that on Mars. So everybody, you're a lot younger on Mars. So maybe that's enough reason to go to Mars. So you might die at age 30 instead of age 90 or something like that. Math. But that's a pretty cool thing too, because it orbits much further away. I think it's like an additional, what is it, 140 million miles out or something like that, like past Earth's orbit. Pretty wild. We've had plenty of craft failures on Mars. Humans from varying countries, mostly the United States, but I believe Russia and Britain, China, I think, as well. Like there's been several successes and a lot of failures. Like because getting to Mars is extremely difficult. What you need to do is you can only launch something to Mars efficiently if you come along like imagine like running on a track, and if you guys know like a running track, there are lanes and the lane numbers. Like imagine Earth is in lane 3 and Mars is in lane 4. Like if you run in lane 4 around a track, you're running further because it's further out. The circumference is a higher number. Earth will be running a shorter distance. So if you're running on a track and passing Mars on the inside, like if you're going to toss a ball to the runner that's in lane 4 from lane 3, like you're not going to toss the ball from the opposite side of the track, right? That just doesn't make sense. Horribly inefficient. It's likely you're not able to do that. So you would, of course, want to run on the inside and catch up to Mars. And as you pass them on the inside, you want to toss it the shortest amount of distance. But you also can't toss the ball once you've passed Mars in lane 3. Like, because you have to turn around and physics is not working on your side. You kind of want to use your acceleration, your momentum, launch it as you're coming up on them, and then send it. So that's basically what's happening in orbit. We want to get as close as we can to Mars as we're leading up and catching up to it. Then we want to launch a rocket, send it on its way. It takes about 6 months to get there, and that is the shortest that it takes to get to Mars. Otherwise, you're talking years, which is horribly cost inefficient and also detrimental in terms of trying to keep people alive potentially as we go explore it. But also in terms of fuel, even if there's no humans aboard a potential rocket, if you're just trying to get a probe there, you want to make sure you're getting there with the least amount of fuel, because that's less weight to travel with, which makes the flight cheaper. And the capacity. You need to have a rocket big enough to have that much fuel if you were to launch it from the other side. So let's try to get it as close as we can, and as intimately as we can. So we call these like a Martian launch window. I think there's a Mars transfer orbit, I think is really what the actual the term is. So you want to get as close as you can. So anyway, there have been a lot of failures. We've attempted to send orbiters and landers, and it's just a tricky thing. Like we have not mastered it. It is a nail biter every time. And even the ones that have worked, it's always like this huge celebration whenever the lander says, "Hey, I'm alive. Here's the first picture." People go ballistic in the control rooms. They're super fun to watch when they live stream them. But there have been a lot of disappointing Mars attempts over the years. So there's some wreckage on the planet as well. We just hope that one day it's not human wreckage, that it's just robots. Because we can run out, we can go on with robots, but let's try not to, let's minimize the human casualties, if you will. So yes, Mars is crazy. I did see another comment here from Blue. Can you talk about why sunsets are blue on Mars? Yes, let's talk about that. It is a very cool feature. So the atmosphere on Mars, as we talked about, it's different. The composition is different. The density is different. And if you're familiar with, of course, our atmosphere on Earth, it's thick, it's dense, and during the daytime, sunlight, which is naturally white, it's all the colors, gets scattered. I believe that's called the Rayleigh effect. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Scatters the light, and only light in the blue spectrum of the visible spectrum becomes visible to us here. So that's why the sky's blue here on Earth. When you're on Mars, the sky is not blue during the day. It's more of like that reddish amber, dusty color. But what happens on Earth here? The sky doesn't stay blue forever, especially at sunset. When the sun starts setting, like we kind of know a sunset to be like red and orange and yellow. It's these beautiful ambery colors. And that's because you're refracting the different angles of the prism. It's sort of a prismatic effect, and you're starting to go through the rest of the color spectrum after blue. And that sort of happens with sunsets on Mars, but in a different way. So as the sun is setting, it operates on a different side of the spectrum. So the sunsets actually turn blue. So it's almost like daylight on Earth, but it's just over there. So imagine like everything becoming our familiar at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day. Pretty wild. So blue sunsets. It's just a way that the light gets scattered through its atmosphere. Is there a lot of debris there from us? Here's a question coming in. Yeah, there is. I should look up a list and see. But there's quite a few landers that bombed. They come through the atmosphere, and maybe their parachute didn't deploy properly, and then of course the probe or the lander would crash. There are also many rovers and landers that were successes, that went through their entire lifespan of functionality, like the Spirit and Opportunity rovers, the Insight and the Phoenix rovers. And they also, they've seen their lifespan, they function, they did their science, but maybe they ran out of charge on their batteries and they couldn't refuel, or they got covered in dust and stopped functioning. And then, that was it. Then they couldn't revive the vehicle for them to bring it back. So then there's just dead product, essentially. Hang on, you guys, I really gotta do something really quick. Can I let you know? I gotta do something really quick.
Dude, I was thinking about just popping in here unexpectedly, not even giving you a heads up.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to ruin the flow.
What's up, man? Dude,
I feel rough, but there's no way I was gonna miss this episode. I took a little nap. I feel like crap. But,
I hate that feeling, man.
Yeah,
that's the worst. I'm
what
good.
Up, everyone?
I'm glad to see your face, though.
Still Asian, still yellow,
still yellow. There are sunsets on tan yellow. Is that
yes?
We're talking about blue Mars sunsets.
Nice, I like it. Mars. Yeah, I've been listening. I was like, man, should I? No, wait.
Yeah. No, I prepared people at the top that I was like, he's not going to be here, but there's a chance. There's a chance he might just kick down the door and show up.
Yeah, my chasing the milk senses started tingling whenever I just felt a bunch of W's in the chat.
Yeah,
yeah. And I was like, damn, dude, there's my I gotta go.
Yeah, dude.
But I was like listening with like one eye open. But yeah, man, I'm excited to be here. Good to see everyone. Thanks for holding down the fort.
Oh, you bet, man. My pleasure.
So I don't know much about Mars, so I'm just gonna sit here, and it probably won't feel any different than what you were doing like 20 minutes ago.
Dude, no worries, man. Just enjoy the fun. That's what it's all about.
Sweet.
Like, feel free to chill and wake up a little bit, and don't feel pressure to stay, man. Like, if you feel like death, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
All right, peace.
Yeah, deuces. Yeah. Oh, go. Yeah. And he's back.
Blue Eye said, "King of FOMO." Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, FOMO gets me every time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, dude. Wait, can you say something really quick? Your mic just dropped out. I heard it crackle, and now I can't hear you at all. I still can't hear you. Something wiggled, I think. For those of you listening, Tan's image, he's literally screaming. His mouth is like, he's going ballistic, but none of us can hear anything.
Hello?
Oh, I hear you, but you're a little bit crackly. Try it again. Oh, wait, there. Oh, maybe not. I think it's literally, it might be the connection on that XLR cable up in the top.
Okay.
Oh, you're
How
back.
about now?
You're back. You're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back.
Let's see for how long.
Yeah, right. Just don't move.
Try throwing against the wall. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. That always works.
What's happening, everybody in chat who's jumping in? I can't help but notice, dude. You log in and the viewership spikes. It goes up. They just love you, dude.
I don't know. Maybe it was just lucky. Something wiggled. Is wild. What is up with that profile picture, dude? Is that the Deuce
Rob
Bigelow?
Schneider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo.
Oh, that's so
That's
funny.
so funny. Unplug it and plug it back in. Yeah, that's what I tried.
Mm-hmm. JC says I'm a bot hired by Tan.
Nice.
The math checks out.
Well, cool. Let's get back on track. We were talking about Mars. Yeah, continue. I don't know. I don't know anything about Mars. It's red. It's got a polarized cap. It's the smallest. I think it's the smallest planet, isn't it?
It's the second smallest.
Second smallest. Okay.
Yeah, Mercury is smaller.
Yep. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm done. That's it. That's all I got too. I'm out.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah.
If you guys enjoyed the show, give us a like. Send us all your money. And we'll see you next time.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and smash that like button.
That's what all the other YouTubers are doing.
I
That's
know.
That's what we're lacking. We don't. We're not like we got to do that.
Right.
We gotta beg more.
We gotta sell out. Be absolute power
I'm
tools.
so down.
Yeah.
Real quick, can we talk about the eclipse?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Even though
for
that
sure.
was kind of like last week's episode, it's coming up. We've got 3 more days, and I am just so excited. The weather out here, knock on wood, is looking phenomenal.
Really?
Highs of 70s, dude. I'm gonna be out there, probably in shorts and a tank, streaming.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
It's looking like this is partly cloudy for me.
Partly C-wordy
Oh yeah.
is what you meant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that could also mean something else. So,
That's right.
yeah. So let's.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, partly
cloudy is fine.
something. Partly
Yeah.
something. But yeah,
Rob Schneider
I mean,
is a baddie. Yeah.
for sure though, the eclipse just a few days away, and I think Tan and I both would emphasize to the end of the earth and back, don't miss it if you have the chance, even if it is like, slightly opaque out, kind of cloud, like you can kind of see the moon, like just still get out there, even if you see it for half a second pop through the clouds, just make the attempt. 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest challenge for most people is the time of maximum eclipse. It's
Yeah.
gonna be around 1:30 Central, 1:32 a.m. And you're definitely gonna have to set an alarm clock unless you are already planning on watching it. If you're just a normal human being, you might have to set an alarm clock. But just know that you can set your alarm clock, wake up, see it for like 5 minutes, then go back to bed.
If you're just a normal human being, aka if you're not psychotic like the rest of us.
Yeah, basically. Basically.
What's happening? Ron Colson in the chat,
What up?
who was on the last episode of the year in 2024. Longtime supporter, dear friend of mine. Would any of the junk on Mars be usable by a potential Watley or a Watney, Mark Watney from The Martian? After watching the movie several times, I would probably say yes. I'd argue yes. A resourceful Mark Watney.
Great movie.
Would yeah, absolutely phenomenal movie. Tan and I, we watched it together with some friends last year, and most of us fell asleep. Not because it was bad, but because we were so exhausted from staying up trying to wait for the skies to clear.
It was
we
a
all
long night.
we all got very comfortable and we
Yeah.
passed out. Yeah, my goodness.
What's up, Princess Tamara? Yeah, I just hopped in. I had to. There was
Yeah,
no way I can
she's-
miss an episode.
Tamara said, "I'm gone for 10 minutes," and bang, T is his next screen. Yeah. I gotta ask you though. You say this every week. What is the origins of Princess Tamara? The name.
Princess Tamara.
Mhm.
She's probably the only mod that I've had. She moderates for me on TikTok, but she's the only mod that has never really done anything. Not because she denies the responsibility. I've just never had her do anything. So she just has the status of mod, and I just call her Princess Tamara.
Ah, there you go. I like it.
Yeah, she gets the treatment. Not my fault.
Oh
It's
my
super
gosh.
funny. Yeah.
Foxy Roxy says, "I'm excited. I will go outside and see it, but I don't have a telescope, so we'll probably tune in so I can see it up close too." Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be so many people who are gonna be live streaming it, from all over.
Only watch mines, guys.
Yeah, yeah, Tans only. Only watch Tans. But yeah,
It's gonna look incredible with just your eyes too, by the way.
for sure.
So don't feel like you need a telescope.
I have a hot take. It is best viewed with your eyes.
No, I don't think that's a hot take. I agree with you.
I would go ahead. Sorry.
I would just say that they're both beautiful in their own ways. Of course, it's nice to get a little zoom on it, but there's just something about not having to deal with anything and just seeing it with your eyeballs, man. You
Mhm.
know? It's
Yeah.
great.
Yes, for sure. Wildfire says, "I'm counting down the days." Very
Oh,
good.
we're on Twitch. Oh,
Yeah, we got a viewer
I
on
see
Twitch.
you.
Curious. Let us know which Twitch are you on? Tan's Twitch or my Twitch? Because we stream to both, and I just curious to know like where we're getting the viewership. I haven't tuned in to see. I feel like my Twitch reports every week are either 0 or 1 viewer every single week because we just don't really push stuff over there.
Mhm.
But I'm excited to know that at least somebody's watching. We
One of
appreciate
these days we'll get rated.
it. Yeah, right.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's exciting. I'm trying to figure out what the heck to do with my photography, but I don't really think I'm going to have much of an opportunity to go somewhere, which is unfortunate. But I will be able to see it from home, so I might just try to get some close-ups if I can, and maybe I'll try to do like some kind of a composite shot, like a progression, like get photos at every
Ooh.
interval at 600 millimeters.
Mhm.
From beginning to end or something like that. And you know what I would like to try? Here's my stretch goal. That photo that you had last week with the clouds, you tried to do like the HDR. I've always wanted to try that with clouds. So if we do get a little bit of a layering, I would like to attempt that because your shot inspired me.
Thank you. Yeah, if
Mhm.
you have clouds, I think that is the only one time I would say it's an exception for me to be excited about it, just because it will make the eclipse look pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good idea. I'm excited too, man. I don't know. I haven't really started planning what I'm going to do yet. It's tough because like the whole duration of from the beginning to end lasts about 6 hours.
Mhm.
I think I'm only going to do the initial, the partial, and the maximum, and then it'll probably end around 2:30 a.m. I think.
Mhm.
And I'll probably pack my bags after that. But
Yeah.
a part of me is saying it would be so cool just to get the entire thing as like a time lapse. 6
Yeah.
hours crunched into like a 15-second video.
Yeah.
But man, that's pretty gnarly.
It is gnarly. You'd have to stick it out for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Get a
we'll see.
just make a cocktail of just mix some coffee, some 5 Hour Energy, some Red Bull, and some Monster all in one. It want a giant big gulp from 7-Eleven. Problem solved.
Maybe that new Taco Bell drink will be out by then too.
Oh yeah, the Baja Blast Midnight.
Yeah, when is that happening?
I have no idea, but
Did you guys hear about this?
it's not soon enough.
Everyone, stop what you're doing. Check this out.
Mhm.
Taco Bell had like a whole. It was almost like a TED talk, dude. It,
like-
it felt like one of those keynote speakers for like Apple or something, unveiling like the newest phone or Nvidia's newest GPU card. But
Mhm.
it was just like a series of really cool, awesome, tasty items on the menu
Yeah.
and a new drink.
Right? Oh, dude.
Dude,
Freaking stoked. Ugh.
When's the release date? I would camp outside for this.
Mhm.
Mountain Dew. What was it called? Midnight Baja Blast.
I think Baja Blast Midnight. It's like a purple Baja Blast.
Midnight.
Mm-hmm.
When's the release date, man? People are gonna go crazy. People are gonna go insane over this.
Yeah, they're gonna be running dry.
This is for the 1 a.m. homies. That's funny.
For those of you who are baked in a half,
What?
got the yeah, I got those
Like
those
that?
of you with the munchies.
Yeah, no
Oh
release
my
date.
goodness,
Just sometime in 2025.
2025, huh? Okay.
All right.
I mean,
Anyways,
yeah. Well, either way, if it doesn't come out by this, was it Thursday?
Mhm.
Just get a regular Baja Blast. Problem solved.
yeah. It's true.
Man, dude, Tan, really quick. I mean, how was your trip, man? I should ask you that. You were out west.
Yeah. Flew into Utah and then drove to Nevada, specifically Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool. It was a very short trip. There was a lot of indulging in food, not so much astronomy or any kind of like photography.
Okay.
I intentionally left almost everything at home. I brought one little 360 camera just so I can vlog,
Yeah.
like a trip for myself and for my family. But I told myself like no cameras, no telescope, just be in the moment.
Sure.
And it was cool. I ended up winning a little over $200. Like it was $290
Uh-huh.
playing roulette, and
Hey, yo.
yeah, it was really cool, and it was awesome because I was asking some people in the Discord to give me their numbers, and I told them that if like their number hit and I had money on it, I would get them a hoodie. So we had 3 winners. All in all, it was just a fun trip with my my family, and yeah, it feels good to be back.
Dude, that's sweet.
Murney. I love Murney.
What's happening, Tiffy? How's it going? Welcome
cool.
in. Dude, well, congrats on the victories.
Thank you.
That's a big deal. Tan texted me the other day, like over the weekend, and it was like, "Hey, I'm making it big," and it was like your cash in receipt for your earnings was like 31 cents or something like that.
Yeah, that's how it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge gambler, but I told myself that I had $100 to spend on whatever at the casino, and that was going to be it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny how this seems to always happen, but I was down to my last like $10, right? So I'm down $90. I'm like, okay, this is it. $10. Throw it on the table, and I'm playing numbers. I'm playing on the inside, and I'm thinking like, okay, here you go. It's like sometimes it usually feels like when you go to the casino, you're just handing the dealer the money. Like that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I got $10 left. Place my bets. I'm kind of standing up, getting ready to leave the table, because I know it's not going to hit. And then it lands on my number, and from there it kind of just snowballed into a winning streak.
Of course.
And the hardest thing to do is to walk or quit while you're ahead. Everyone says that. It's such a common phrase, right? Quit while you're ahead.
Sure.
But it never feels enough. But at this point, I was like, okay, I'm up like $300. I think I am gonna quit.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Well, good for you, man.
And yeah, feels good.
Now, how many Baja Blasts is that? $300. That's like 100, maybe.
It's quite a few. Yeah.
Well, if it's happy hour, they're one what is it? Happier hour? It's like 2 to 5 p.m. at Taco Bell is $1 large drinks, I think.
What? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's like in the middle of the day. So it's like
What?
it's in between lunch and dinner. So they try to incentivize people to like, show up in those like oddball times to get cheap
dude.
drinks. So you just got 300 Baja Blasts in a
Damn.
happier hour.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I've never like actually gambled. I've like fake played, or whatever, with like here and there, but like I've never been to a casino and gambled. I've been in them. I've watched people do it. I would be a miserable train wreck. I would be awful. I would be pathetic. I wouldn't know how to play. I wouldn't know what to do. Everyone would be like, I'd be dead weight, dude, and I would lose all my money.
I would argue that's the best strategy because you're not. Well, seriously, because you're not so focused on trying to win. You don't know anything, so it almost feels like you're doing like a 50-50 bet. For most games, I would say it kind of feels like it's a 50-50. So you put your money on the table, and either you're gonna win something or you're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. Dude, we might have to go to a casino next time we meet up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, prepare to bring your 360 cam and watch me get wrecked. That's
Yeah. It'll be fun.
What's up, Daniel?
I lose $100 in 5 minutes. Oof. What up, Zaliro?
All the yikes down in Yikesville.
Yeah. I once lost $2,000 on craps after being up like 4K. I love craps.
Oh,
super fun game. Dude. I've been there. Not that much. But I've had a bunch of winnings. And then, usually when you're at that point, you're like, man, I'm only up 300 or whatever that number is. I could be up a lot more. I'm going to use my winnings to win more money. That's the logic.
Yeah.
It never fails. And you spend that money and then you lose it. So now you're like, oh, well, I'm even. And I was going to plan on losing money anyway. So let me try to win that money back. And then you play more. And then now you're down 100 or whatever that number is.
Yeah.
Then you say, well, shit, I got to win my money back, dude. Then I'll be done. So you spend more money. And sometimes you win it back and sometimes you don't. But usually it's the latter.
Yeah.
Welcome to gambling, everyone.
Right. Yeah. Tamara says, Tan, a couple of minutes ago, I'm not a big gambler. A second ago, let's go, Nick. Let's go next time.
We'll watch Nick gamble. I'll be there for moral support.
Mm-hmm. Well, there is only one thing that's 100% sure there to happen while I'm there is that I will lose. That is, there is a high certainty.
You usually will.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man,
I lose $100 and it feels like crap. Oh, losing any kind of money feels like crap. Because whenever you leave, you're like, man, I should have just saved it. I could have spent that on so many number of things.
Mm-hmm. Or you can win.
Yeah.
That's the real trick.
My best night in Vegas was a couple years ago, and I won around 3,200. I think total was around like 4,500. But you end up getting greedy and try to win more, Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you know what? I'll leave with 32. But it was just one of those things where it felt like you couldn't lose.
Mm-hmm.
Just true luck, and that's a rare thing, I mean, and I hope everyone gets to experience that.
I've watched Ocean's 13 enough to know that I'll just like get some magnetic dice and have the little lighter that makes the dice flip over to the side that you want it to, and then you just win all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can make it happen.
Let's do it. There's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Positive mindset. Yeah. I say as long as you're having fun, you go in there with the expectations that you're not going to walk out a rich person, you'll be okay. But having fun is important. If you go in there thinking that you're going to turn $100 into $5,000, then you're in for quite a wreck.
Mm-hmm. I think if I do go ever, I want to be the guy who sits down at a poker table, a high stakes table
With your sunglasses on?
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. It's a high stakes table, but I'm just gonna sit down with a bone-in ribeye, and then everyone's gonna stare at me, and I'm gonna be like, "I thought this was high stakes," and then I'm gonna eat it while everyone else just scowls and looks at me.
High
I will.
stakes.
I will be that guy.
I'll do one better. I'll be completely toasted. I'll be baked.
You'll be baked. You'll be high.
Yes. You'll be eating the steak and I'll just be high.
This is high. This is high, and I'm steaks.
Yep. Oh! I'm in. Count me in.
Yes.
Let's go to Vegas. Daniel has never been. Y'all entertain him while I run rampant. I'm in. Vegas is cool, man. Vegas is really fun.
I passed through there oh gosh, it wasn't last year. It was 2023. The trip that I met you on the way back, we flew out of Vegas, and we had one afternoon where we walked through it just to see it because I'd never been there. And it was daytime. You know, I maybe missed out on some of the experience. It wasn't nighttime, but it was simultaneously beautiful and insane and weird. And probably several other descriptors all at the same time. But yeah, I was like, why does this exist? Like, this is beyond my comprehension for how much money has been spent to make this place happen. Like, every single building is like made of marble. And I'm like, one pillar in this single building is like worth more than my house. And this is like, I don't know, like, what is it? Like an 80-story building or something. And there's like all these convention halls and these crazy expensive hallways, and like there's a shopping mall here. And then it's like, I don't get it. It's extravagant, beyond reckoning. But cool to see for sure. Like, I do think it's worth seeing, like, no matter what you do, just like walk through it and just see it for yourself.
Yeah, I agree. Tiffy says I turned into an alternate version of myself in Vegas. Yeah. I think Vegas does that. It truly is an environment where you're kind of almost forced to get out of your shell and just be wild, you know? Mm-hmm. And this doesn't mean like consuming copious amounts of like alcohol or anything. Like, there's just something about it. I don't know if this is a conspiracy theory, but they say, like, you know, when you go into the casinos, like, none of them like will have windows, so you don't know you never know what time it is. I think that's true. But they say they pump oxygen so like you don't get tired. I can't confirm, but I could totally see it because I've just never felt tired, you know, being in Vegas. And yeah, something about, I think, just being around the people with high energy, it kind of just, you feed off of that, and it kind of rubs off in you. And next thing you know, you're doing stuff, you know, you're spending money. You're leaving with some random person on the street or whatever. Or you're eating like awesome, delicious, unhealthy food at like 3 o'clock in the morning because you can.
Right. This was something I learned that I'm sure is very common knowledge to people who are regulars there, but I've only been there once, so it's like I literally had to learn it. Was there's nowhere to sit on the streets. Like, there are no benches. There's no like ledges. And it's very intentional. It's to keep you from being comfortable outside. They want you to go in.
Whoa.
The only places to sit are inside. There's no tables for dining. Like, if you're at McDonald's, like, you have to eat inside. Because like I went in, I did eat at McDonald's. I grabbed some chicken McNuggets, and I went down the street. I was like, oh yeah, like it's a nice day. I'll just eat outside. There was nowhere to eat. There's literally nowhere. And literally there were signs that were like, you know, you can't loiter. There's no loitering allowed. Like, it's like literally like, we'll like kick you out if like you just stop and sit on this wall or lean against this wall. Like, you have to keep moving. So I like ate my lunch walking down the street because the culture, it just doesn't happen. They want people to go in. They want you to gamble. They want you to do things in the businesses. So that was actually really annoying for somebody who doesn't want to gamble and go inside.
Yeah.
I was like, this blows. We're going to eat. I want to eat my chicky nuggies.
and be comfortable while doing it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep. But yeah, weird place. Cool though. Like the like sidewalks, like the like Skyway or whatever it is like super cool though.
Dude, we just got to go back. We got to give you the full Vegas experience.
Mm-hmm.
You might leave a changed man.
Right.
So
I'll come out with gold chains around my neck.
Grills.
Grills,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Big
dreadlocks somehow.
freaking clock hanging around my neck.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Freaking Flava Flav. I'll be
Flavor
I'll
Flav.
be Orby Orb. That'll be my
Orb. Yes.
Orby Orb.
Uh, Astro Workshop in Vegas, and then Rogers and buffets on the strip, and Tan's hotel room. Down like a clown in Taco Bell town.
What?
Yes. I'm in. How do we go from Mars to Vegas?
I think there's probably a very intentional thing is that we need to talk about building the next Vegas on Mars.
Ooh, I could see it.
Yep.
Building another sphere.
Ooh, yeah, Mars sphere.
Yeah.
Let's go. I walked right up to the sphere and was like right by it, and just to see it, and it was really cool.
It is cool.
I've not been in it though.
Yeah, same here. I love the Golden Nugget. Yeah, that place is cool. That's a really that's just it's a place that has good vibes. The Golden Nugget.
Excuse me.
It's contagious.
Right? Yeah, anyway, dude, okay, well, thinking about Mars though, I mean, I had this whole thing of like facts and stuff and like just like let's just talk about what Mars is. I feel like I kind of blew through what I had. Hopefully somebody's enlightened by some of it. I do know Mars is still very, very visible. It's like high in the sky after sunset, and you can see it for hours into the mornings, into the wee morning. Beautiful, and it will continue to move towards the morning as the year goes on. So enjoy it as the summer gets here in the northern hemisphere. Sorry for those of you in the south. Just make the attempt to go. Yeah, right. Go look for it. It has an orangey hue. You can see it with your eyes. You don't need any aid. It's got like a little solid orange glow to it. And yeah, go check out Planet Mars. And then think about some of the things we talked about tonight as you go view it. And let that perspective sink in that it's a planet inhabited by robots. There's robots on that little white dot, that thing in the sky so far away. Like we've got things there. And we also just kind of passed it. Like, we just moved along on the inside like we were talking about. So we won't see Mars this close again for almost another 2 years.
Dang.
It'll start to get a little further away and then it'll come back, it gets close. So there you have it, everybody. Planet Mars. Let me know. Did you guys learn something? Please, somebody tell me that tonight was worth it.
Please.
Sound off in the chat.
Yeah, it's pretty
here.
high in the...
Love the Mars facts. There we go.
We got one.
Las Vegas. Yeah.
Las Vegas.
Oh, dude. Okay, Mod James just put in the moons. How do we not talk about the moons? Mars has 2 moons.
Deimos and Phobos. How do you say
Phobos?
it, right? Phobos?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Did I say those right? Deimos?
Phobos and Deimos. Yeah.
Yeah, Deimos.
They're basically captured asteroids, I think. Phobos is larger and Deimos is smaller. I can't remember which one. I think Phobos is the one that's closer to Mars and is actually in like what is it, like 500,000 years or something like that. It's supposed to like deorbit and actually break up in Mars's atmosphere and like crash into the planet.
Wait, what?
Do you know that?
No, I'm gonna chat GPT some of this.
Yeah.
Phobos?
By the way, we're getting a little bit of pop and crackle from your mic.
No, is it still happening?
You're fizzling out. Dude, you're like it sounds like you're a reporter in a hurricane. The like wind going into the wind muff. It's just like.
Is it still doing it?
It is still doing it.
Okay.
All
right. Hang on. I'm just gonna unplug. Guys.
That sounds better.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just won't touch anything.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so these moons, yeah, it's cool because Earth is the first planet in the solar system here in order to have a moon, and then Mars has got two, and then every planet from there on out, it's got like a metric butt ton of moons. Um, but Mars is kind of cool for having it just two. Kind of wild to think that like, what if like when did it capture them, and um how crazy would that have been to just like watch that happen? Like one day it wasn't there and now it is. And the rovers that are on Mars have actually captured transits of these moons of the sun, like through the sun. So there's these beautiful pictures with these basically ring of fire eclipses, these like annular eclipses. But with these little odd shaped potatoes, they kind of look potato like. Research suggests that both are made from the same material as Mars, too. Oh, is that right? Maybe they weren't captured asteroids. Or the protoplanetary material, it just is the same. Because if they're in the same place or in orbit around the sun, all those billions of years ago, Mars forms, and then there's just residual of the leftover material, and those becomes those moons.
Pretty crazy, guys.
Artie Jones in the chat. What's happening? Welcome in.
What up?
Or if you've been here and I missed you, I'm sorry.
I'm reading some of these facts here from ChatGPT. Check this out. Because they're so small, their gravity is too weak to pull them into a spherical shape. Hence the potato-looking things.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. A human standing on Phobos would weigh less than 1% of their Earth weight and could easily jump off into space.
Yo.
Scientists think future Mars missions could use Phobos as a stepping stone for astronauts before landing on Mars.
Really?
How cool is that? Yeah.
Like a hub, like a space station?
Yeah. Just to bridge the gap. Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense. Like my initial thought was that's dumb. But then I was like, no, that's actually might be really smart. Just because like what we're doing with the moon, building the Lunar Gateway space station to be sort of this hub, this connection point between the surface and lunar orbit. Like, why not take advantage of an actual celestial body that's there? You could probably like deploy some pods and modules to connect to it, and at least something to like grab onto. It could be cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Astro Hillbilly in the chat says, Earth captured an asteroid last year, didn't it? We technically had 2 moons for a short period. Yeah, I do remember that.
I remember all the clickbait of the 2 moons.
Yeah.
That was insane, dude. Yeah, that we did have technically. Yeah.
Yeah, and it moved on, right? I haven't heard anything about it. I just know there was a lot of hubbub.
Mm-hmm. Nick and Tan, if you have opportunity to go into Mars, like first person, would you go? Maybe. If I could be promised a return ticket, if they could say, hey, you're going to go to Mars and you're also going to be guaranteed coming back, then sure.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a one-way ticket, I don't know. I always say this, but I really like it down here on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be beautiful. And probably it would be a heck of a way to go if, you got to see it, but maybe you didn't get to tell people about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be cool, but no. Yeah, exactly, Richard Jones.
I would say my answer is the same as Tan's. I do have a few alternate versions of that. If I found out that I was terminally ill and I knew I didn't have long, I'm going. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because I think even if there is a return flight and you're still the first person, it's untested and you don't know if that return flight's going to work. I think you have to go there understanding that you're going to have a very abbreviated life, most likely. And you probably do quite a bit of psychological preparation to prepare for that. And you have to learn to be okay with acknowledging that you're staring death in the face. if I have a bright future here on Earth, I think I'd have a very hard time accepting that. If I knew that I have also an abbreviated future here on Earth, why not do it for the sake of humanity? Why not go and challenge the status quo and define the next chapter of human exploration, and afford someone else who does have a future to live the chance to not take that risk, so that,
Yeah.
hey, I'll go first because I'm probably a goner anyway. And then if it works, great, and I survive, great, cool, no worries. But if I don't make it, like, I wasn't missing much anyway. But at least the next trip they can know, hey, it's gonna work, we'll get you back, and someone else can go. So that'd be my answer. I don't know.
Yeah, that's well said. If that's the case, then I think I would probably do the same thing. I really like that answer. I'm really curious if you guys are listening, if you guys are in the chat. What would you guys do? Would you venture and brave off into something new, or would you pass it up?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big decision, and I know it's one that for me, I think it's easier to answer here than if it came down.
Right.
Like if I opened up my email and Elon said he had a free ticket, all paid trip to Mars, would I go?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing to think about.
That could happen in 4 years at the soonest,
You think so?
according to Elon. Which we're gonna hold off on all the politicization of that topic right now. Let's just talk about
Yeah, good call.
what he said.
Yeah.
We've been talking about the Mars transfer orbits, which is every 2 years. So your opportunity to get to Mars quickly and efficiently is every 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and that's about a 6 to 8 month trip, depending.
Sheesh, dude, that's
still-
crazy.
It's still a lot of your life spent in a
Yeah.
tin can. So we just passed Mars, so we missed this transfer window. It's done. So we're on our way back around. Starship is in development, which is the vehicle that's going to take people to Mars. They're testing it. We were talking about that on the show as well. It's not ready. It's not human rated at all. It's still being tested. It's being developed. They're building it. They're trying to create the first version of it that actually is functional and guaranteed to work. They're ironing out the kinks and trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. They have 2 years to get it right, to make it capable of flying to Mars. And Elon said that they will send the first uncrewed starships to Mars in the next Mars transfer window. So 2 years, starships, uncrewed, going to Mars.
Damn.
If everything goes well. If the FAA keeps delaying Starship launches and there's setbacks, then that won't happen. If they do successfully send starships to Mars and they successfully enter Mars orbit and deploy to the surface without crashing, he said green lights for sending humans on the subsequent transfer. So 4 years from now,
Wow.
that he would put humans on the next set of starships.
Man, that's crazy, but also so exciting, man. That's wild, dude. I didn't know
Right.
that.
And the wild thing is, I think it can happen. I think the odds of it happening that seamlessly are extremely slim, because almost every ambition of spaceflight is delayed. Everything, every program, every vehicle, commercial and governmental, is delayed in some capacity because of some crazy reasons. I mean, heck, Starship, it having its own issues, for whatever reasons, even in its developmental phase.
Yeah.
But it is, if you think about it, even if it's a sliver of a percent, say a 1/10% of a chance that it's going to happen, that's the highest chances we've ever had as a human race getting to another planet. And it's also the soonest possibility. So we know that humans might only have 4 years left of being a single planet species.
Dude, that's insane.
Mm-hmm. If
I'm
all
blown
goes
away.
well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
Dude, what a trip. I've just always envisioned that being so far out in the future, distant future.
Mm-hmm.
To think that that could happen in my lifetime is so gnarly.
Yeah. I know it won't be me, but I hope that, we do get to see humans on Mars while we're alive. I think if we play our cards right and we're as ambitious as we are now as a species, I think we'll see that well before we're gone.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be like, oh, when we're 95, maybe we're lucky to see it. I think it'll be much sooner. So I'm excited for that. But I don't know. It's cool.
I am the most excited about this.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So crazy to think about. Just doesn't even make sense in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine all the movies that are going to come from this.
Right.
Documentaries,
yeah. True.
All the TikToks about it. How exciting.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm also excited too because the communication, there's something called the Deep Space Network, which is like a relay of satellites that essentially transfers information, and it's pretty slow. I believe Elon said that they could actually start deploying Starlink to Mars to create a reliable internet that is like some like factor of like 100 times faster or something like that. I'm probably misquoting that. Somebody please look it up. It's some large factor higher than the current rate of data transfer. So like sending a picture from Mars to Earth is like ridiculously slow. It's like pathetic. It feels like dial-up 56K dial-up modem in the 90s. Like, it's unbecoming of 2025. Imagine if you could have that, high bandwidth data transfer, and you could actually host basic video calls with loved ones in almost real time. That would be so helpful. Like light takes time, radio takes time, so there will always be a delay unless we can like engineer that in some way. But adding Starlink and some kind of a special Mars network Starlink, game changer. And I think they'll have to do that very soon. Man. They may even deploy them on the uncrewed missions, because Starship is supposed to be a Starlink deploying device, because they're going to retire Falcon 9, which currently delivers Starlink satellites in the clumps that they do. And it's going to be like a Pez dispenser. It's going to open up a flap and it's going to spit them out one at a time. And there's like a stack. It's like shoots one out, shoots one out, shoots one out, shoots one out. So they could put Starlink on Starship and deploy it around Mars and create a network, so we can be ready for when humans come 2 years later.
Better not be faster than our internet speeds. Hey, what happened to my camera?
Oh, I thought that was intentional. I thought your reaction was to go to color bars, and I was like, that's actually really funny.
I don't know what's happening. No, what is going on? The color bars hasn't happened in a long time, Chad.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah.
That popped up. Dial-up speed from 140 million miles away is still pretty good, says Mod James. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, considering that we have any communication at all like that is definitely a marvel. So guess we can't complain. Tan will be back in a second. He's troubleshooting. Tanzanite, how's it going? Welcome in. You guys, if you've continued to stick with us here, we're an hour 26 into the show. We appreciate you checking out the Galactic Window Space podcast. My name is Nick, and Tan is also here. He's my co-host, and he'll be here in a second. Let's bring him back. There he is. I see his face. We do our best, like I said, to keep the topics on space and astronomy, but we also like to be human beings. We just like to converse with you guys. Sometimes we get off topic, talk about Las Vegas and chicken nuggets. Dark meat. But I mean, yeah, we'd like to just have a good time, interact with you guys, and we appreciate every single one of you being here. Whether you're interacting in the chat or lurking in the background or listening in a podcast replay on your favorite audio streaming platform. If you guys just need a quick reminder, we do stream live here on YouTube and Twitch every single Monday night, 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And if you want to support the podcast, you can do that too. You can do that by becoming a member of the channel. You can by clicking the join button, or you can give a super chat, super thanks, or super sticker. Those funds will directly support the production of the show, helping us to get higher profile guests, and to pay for the services that help keep the podcast running, like StreamYard and gosh, why am I drawing a blank on the Buzzsprout? Yeah, Buzzsprout. I almost said Audio Jungle, which is a totally different service for like
Audio Jungle.
stock audio. I knew it was some kind of a plant and sound thing. Those services cost money, but yet they give us the ability to make sure that you guys get the show every single week without skipping a beat. So those are ways you can support. But if you don't want to do it that way, please just show up and listen. Those are the best ways to do it. You can also leave ratings, give a thumbs up, leave a star rating on your audio platforms like Apple Podcasts
We like
or
those
Spotify.
a lot.
We do.
We like
it
those
helps.
a lot.
It helps people find the show, honestly. Like, people trust reviews and they want to know, hey, is this show worth my time? So we'd appreciate that. But also, please give real feedback. We appreciate that. It doesn't have to be a 5 stars if you don't think it's 5 stars.
Yes.
But also, we like 5 stars.
We really, really like 5 stars. And if you guys just want to have your Spotify playing on a podcast while you're sleeping, I mean, we're not gonna hold you back from doing that too.
Right.
So,
Tiffy dropping the 1999 super sticker. Thank you so much.
Honey, so much money.
Yeah.
It says you are amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tiffy.
How
about can we just agree now that specific super chat or super, what do you call them, super sticker?
this one was a super sticker. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That one is just going straight to Taco Bell.
Deal.
But it has to be the new Taco Bell menu items that's coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Done.
Okay. Cool. There you have it, chat. Stay tuned. Whenever they make their big announcement, we'll be ordering some new Taco Bell items with their famous Midnight Baja Blast.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so freaking much.
Did you know, Tan, that Orion's belt is a mediocre constellation? I only give it 3 stars.
That was actually really good. I've never heard that one.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those ones that you just see going around the internet every now and then, and I always forget that it's
pretty damn good.
22 people joining in here. Oh, my gosh.
What? Where are you guys coming from?
We've been
if you guys
spiking.
are just tuning in here, let me know where you guys are coming from.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's like the Milk Gang, regular people, but I would like to see some like new people in here as well. So if you're listening, if you're in here for the first time, please don't be shy. We have an awesome community here, and yeah, we'd love to see new faces.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
Look at this, bro.
Ma James coming in with the 10. Thanks for talking about the potato moons. Hey, you bet. That was I'm so glad you brought those up, because I 100% forgot about the moons. I am a fool. And I'm see, this is what the chat is all about, is you guys help us out. We know some things, we don't know all things. But yeah, super appreciative of your support and dropping that 10.
Yeah, Ma James is awesome.
Want to call out a couple of people here. Eagle Master tuning in on Twitch. Howdy back to you. Thanks for stopping by.
Nice.
Tanix, seeing you here. Hello, how's it going?
Yo.
Stevie J, welcome in.
Look at this, bro.
Eric dropping in 5 gifted memberships. Holy smoke-a-rollies. Let's see who got them. Devin got one of the memberships. Malcolm Kumar got one. Stacy S got one. Eric Stacy, I know you. And Punky was gifted a membership. So
yeah,
cool.
Eric. Eric was one of the early members.
Mm-hmm.
Digging that new profile picture too. I know Eric. Eric's good human being.
W Eric.
Yeah, W Eric.
W Ma James. W Tiffy. Seriously, thank you guys for the support.
W everyone. Yeah. You guys are freaking awesome.
Literally feeling the madness. I'm not gonna say anything. We have some asks out to guests right now. that I'm freaking stoked out of my mind about. And we're just waiting for the replies. And we're hopeful. So you guys, if you have any energy to pour into the universe, send it in the direction of some of these ambitious asks that we've made to get certain guests on the show. They have been made, and we're just being patient. So, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We also, I will give a semi teaser, are planning something ambitious for our 50th episode.
Yeah.
Which will be in May.
In May.
I believe
it's
May
gonna
12th.
be May.
It's gonna be May.
Brian Cox would be insane, dude.
Yo, yeah.
That would be so wild.
So yeah, but we do have movement on that, which is great. So we're coordinating something for the 50th episode, and it's not something we've ever done before. So this is not going to be something that you guys have seen. We've done, a couple of meetups, me and Tan. We've done special guests. Like this will be different. And
this might be the coolest thing that we've ever done.
Oh yeah,
for sure,
by far,
by landslide.
And there's going to be a special twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
That again I won't talk about. So I am just putting the key in and turning it here, just driving it home, getting you guys excited. I'm putting the tease on.
Tease. Yeah.
Yep. But it's gonna be cool.
A little bit of skit.
Yeah. Right. So it's gonna be really cool. Very, very cool things. And episode 50 is 9 episodes away.
Gah. The anime. Gah.
Gah.
Can it be 9 episodes away? Whoa. Oh my God, episode 50. Am I dreaming? That's really crazy. Episode 50 is, dude, I'm excited for it. And I really hope that, I just hope that we can do what we're wanting to do.
Mm-hmm. Me too. And I will say, I'll add one more layer to the tease. This one might have a way to involve you guys in a special way. So everyone who's watching and tuning in, this will be a potential way to incorporate you guys in a fun way. So
be excited, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Be excited.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I don't have a plan for this. I really don't. This is a different topic. But Tan, you and I talked about this.
Okay.
You guys, like early last year, I made my first ever round of merch, Orbital Alliance merch. You may have seen me and Tan wearing Orbital Alliance t-shirts at some point in random episodes. I made merch and I made mission patches. I've got a couple laying around right here. These Orbital Alliance mission patches.
Sick.
They're super cool. I've got 3 different versions of them. You guys, I've got a bunch of these things laying around in a box. And I've got a bunch of shirts that I think I got a bunch of like extra larges and like maybe a few, I don't know, was it like a couple 2Xs or something like that, I have sitting in a box and I don't have any plans for. I thought it'd be fun to do like some kind of a giveaway to you guys who tune in. And I don't know how to facilitate it. I don't have the idea yet. So maybe you guys pitch something to me. I got mission patches and I got t-shirts. And I'm sorry, they're only in the 2 sizes. So if you're a small, you'd be maybe a sleeping shirt if you want to.
Yeah, sleeping shirt for sure.
For shirt.
It's
yeah,
free stuff, y'all. It's free.
And I thought, what a better way to give back to you guys than to kind of issue some free merch. So maybe we do some kind of a game or a quiz, maybe a space quiz, and the top scorers who submit the forms and we'll send you like an email and we can connect with you and get your address. We'll send it to you for free and get a shirt or submission patches or something. But I just thought it'd be a fun way to give back to you guys because it's literally rotting in my closet. So,
we could use some brain power. What's a fun way that we can make it so it's engaging and fair for everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap! Oh my God! My headache just suddenly went away.
Yeah. This is becoming a habit. Artie Jones dropping in a $50 super sticker in the chat.
Thank you so freaking much.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm speechless every week. It doesn't change. It's always I'm always out of words. But thank you. That's all I got. Is thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate the continued support. Holy crap, dude.
Spam eating contest.
I'm in. I'm gonna hop back real quick. I saw Stevie J in here. Is this a real science podcast or UFOlogy stuff?
Ooh.
I would say 99% real science, but we do like to stray off and just talk about kind of like what you were talking about before, Nick. We're human beings, so if there's something that's interesting, whether it's UFOs or maybe a conspiracy that needs to be debunked or whatever, yeah, sometimes I think we'll sprinkle in those because they do make for interesting conversations, and sometimes it kind of there's some overlap with science, but for the most part, yeah, we talk about science, astronomy, space, anything that involves the night skies or space. We just love hearing people's stories, and that's what we like trying to bring to you guys.
Well said. Yeah. We are not against talking about, conspiracy or different waves of thinking. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, we definitely try to stick to, fact-based, science-based stuff if we can. But again, we like to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy dose of fun. Dude, the last 2 nights I streamed on TikTok. It's been a long, hot second.
What?
But I had clear skies. I brought my scope out for the first time in like 10 months, and I streamed the moon. So I had a couple hours where I got to stream on the moon. But we had a good conversation about that mantra of like, take your work seriously, but don't take yourself too seriously. And we've brought that up on the show before. That's an important mantra to me. Believe like, trying not to be like so rigid that you miss out on the fun in life. And I think that's kind of like how we like to handle this show. Like, yeah, we have topics we want to talk about. We'll bring in guests. We'll be serious, information. But I mean, you guys, if you ever meet me in person, I want you guys to ever feel like, hey, you're just like you are on the podcast. I don't want you to be like, oh man, like you're totally different.
Yeah.
That's not valuable to me at all. Like I would rather you guys be like, you're exactly like you are on the show. You're a total goon, and and you're just a nerd and a half. But I like to have fun. I like to be silly. I like to add in a little bit of variety. I also like facts, but that's that's the formula for me. So,
well said.
I don't know.
I like it. Well said. Yeah, we just like having fun. We like talking about the stuff that fuels both of our passions for doing what we do. And like you said, Nick, we just I feel like the human component of it is so important.
Yep.
For both of us, because at the end of the day, man, like if you are just yourself and you are talking about whatever fires you up, there's no like trying to force anything. You're gonna attract the kind of crowd that you want to be with. So that's all we're trying.
Right. Like, and not to say that there aren't other options, for space podcasts out there too. Because if you're looking for a 100% scientific breakdown of a topic that's a tight 60 minutes and then they wrap it, those exist. Those podcasts exist. But I think Tan and I value a community structure where you guys are part of the conversation every week. And it takes it to the next level every single time. There's always like, I feel like I would struggle talking into the void every week, and it is so much more fun. It's so much more life-giving. We get to be ourselves and we get to like hang out with human beings.
Well said. And just know that you guys are a huge part of it too. Like, imagine if there's 0 people in here and it was just me and Nick. We'd probably get tired, man. I think we probably could pull it off every once in a while, but if we're just talking to a wall, man, that's that's real tough. So I do really appreciate the way we've been doing it, because you
Mm-hmm.
guys are a huge part of the journey as well. So
For
just
sure.
know that.
Astro Hillbilly says, I personally prefer to keep things on a serious level, and then follows it up quickly with sarcasm. I was gonna say, I'm like, I mean, I just from the few interactions I've seen, I was like, there's no way that's serious. Yeah, I love your humor is unmatched. So yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Um,
Yeah, Stevie.
yeah.
Everyone. I feel like we have an awesome community. Everyone's nice. It's hard to find not nice people whenever we all share this common ground of just appreciating the night sky.
Yep.
So far, we're good. Knock on wood. There's bound to be bad apples. That's in any kind of community that's built.
Mhm.
But we will always try to prioritize positivity. Right. World's a crazy place, so we try to keep it safe and fun here.
Mm-hmm. True story. Yeah. So I mean, there was a couple comments, I think ideas. I don't remember where some of these are about ways to get people some merch. Um, spin wheel giveaway. I saw that. Spam meeting contests. We mentioned maybe like a trivia quiz or something. We could create like a Google form that you guys can fill out like really quick, like 5 questions, something really easy or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. There's we'll brainstorm, but if you guys are listening on the audio stream and you have any ideas, please leave a comment on this YouTube video. Go to YouTube, find episode 41 of the show, and leave it in a comment and let us know, because we'll read them, and maybe your idea will be the one we use. So maybe next week, maybe the next couple weeks, we'll do some of those. Maybe we could spread it out, do like a handful each week or something. I've got like maybe like 10 shirts left, so and a
Nice.
fat stack of patches. So I don't think it's not like I have like one thing. So
Cool.
so yeah.
I like it. I hope I win one.
Yeah. You guys, I could raffle off my like really worn out Orbital Alliance shirt that I've worn for like the last year and a half. Just
Who
like
wants Orbital Alliance socks?
it's just like peeling and falling apart. You guys don't want that. Galactic Bingo.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's also a good option.
Yeah,
Hmm.
stellar idea.
Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, I don't think you want that one. Maybe one day it'll be worth a lot of money. You know,
Yeah.
like when that weirdo Nick goes off on some weird tirade and
Yeah.
ends up banished on Mars for
Mm-hmm.
being too weird. Man. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff coming up. You guys are cool. The end.
I just want to remind y'all, lunar eclipse.
Mhm.
Maybe just another reminder while you guys are still in here. That's happening on the 13th, guys. That's in 3 days. All right, it's gonna start at 11:50 p.m. Central, and it's gonna be going on until about 5 a.m. Central. But you'll want to catch totality, which will be around 1:30 a.m. Central. So mark your calendars.
Indeed. Mark away. Marky mark
Mm-hmm.
your calendars and the Funky Bunch. If you all know that reference. Let me know in the chat if you know that reference. Don't leave me hanging. I was hearing crickets. You guys are cool too? No way. Tan, did you know that?
Nice. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. You guys are so nice.
You do
I'm
know
so
that reference,
excited.
unfortunately. Good.
So excited for the eclipse. We're gonna be partly seawardy. It looks like so far. Yeah,
What up,
just
trash?
stay hopeful. Yeah, what up, trash? Stay hopeful, because clouds. Yeah, clouds could totally clear up like whenever you want it to, at the last minute. So
Hillbilly chuckled. Good.
awesome.
Cool. Well, dude, what do you say? Want to wrap it up? Any last thoughts before the night ends?
Thank you for all the support. You guys are seriously the bomb. please do not miss the eclipse. I know I keep on bringing it up, but I can't emphasize how special these events are. And I know it's gonna be late. It's gonna be late for a lot of people, but just please, if you can, if you're able to, set an alarm clock. At least get up for totality. Get upside, look at it real quick, and then you can go back to bed. All right. Don't miss it, guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Have a
all I
great
got.
night. Space Gang, get some Taco Bell, says Tanzanite.
I'm gonna get some
Absolutely.
sleep. I'm so excited.
Oh, man. Now my stomach's growling. Come on now.
Ah.
Oh, man, I keep clicking. The chat keeps moving every time I try to turn off comments, and it pulls up other comments. Cool. Well, let's call it there. Yes, thank you all for viewing and listening wherever you are on planet Earth. We appreciate every single one of you. You're all the best. And much love to you all. Hope you're all having peaceful weeks, full of love, care, and support, no matter where you are. We'll be back next week, Monday night, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, right?
Patty's Day.
I
Oh,
didn't realize that until
shoot.
right
Yeah.
now. At 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time. We'll be
Should
back.
we make that a spicy episode?
What does that mean?
Well, hey, I should have used a different word. Maybe not spicy. A hydration episode.
Oh yeah, I get you. Yeah, like with green
Yes.
green bevs.
Yeah, green
Yeah.
bevs, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be my first green bev in a long time.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, we'll just make our backgrounds green. I don't have like a fully green one. I'll just do this.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. Maybe I'll wear green.
We have
find some
to.
stuff.
It's the rule.
Yep.
We'll figure something out.
Foxy Roxy's like, spicy? Like, what do we sign up for? Galactic Window After
Premium.
Dark.
Yeah.
Galactic Window Midnight Edition.
Ooh. Welcome in, everyone.
It's just ASMR.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, let's just put y'all to sleep. Tap on the mic.
Guys, welcome in.
Yeah. We'll we're gonna go ahead and like start taking clicky clack on the keyboards over here until you fall asleep.
Nick
All
at
right,
10
guys.
After Dark.
Uh
Maybe. That episode would be fun.
it would be fun. Maybe we'll consider that. We'll consider
We'll
it.
see.
Mhm.
We'll see. All right.
All right, y'all. We got quit this. This is there's no rails
All
here.
right.
The rails are gone. All right, everybody. We love you all. Take it easy, and you know the drill. We will see you all on the other side.